Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Contrigate and I'm passionate about sharing insights on DevOps, cloud, AI technologies, and everything in between. Today, we're diving into an exciting topic, Azure AI Foundry. Have you ever wondered how businesses are building cutting-edge AI solutions to solve their real-world problems? Well, Azure AI Foundry is one of the most powerful platforms enabling this transformation, and I'm here to break it down all for you. We'll explore what Azure AI Foundry is, how you can use it, and even dive into a hands-on demonstration. Make sure to stick around because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand Azure AI Foundry, but also feel confident to start exploring it yourself. Let's get started. Let me ask you something. Have you ever thought about how some companies out there are able to predict what you want to do before you even know it yourself? Or how they're using AI to create seamless customer experiences? This is where Azure AI Foundry, also known as Azure AI Studio, comes in place. Azure AI Foundry is a Microsoft centralized platform for building, deploying, and scaling AI solutions. But what makes it so special like this? Unlike traditional AI tools that might focus on one aspect, like creating a chatbot or running data analysis, Azure AI Foundry is like one-stop shop for everything about AI. It combines pre-trained models, custom AI capabilities, and powerful data tools into a single platform. Let's bring this to the life with an example. Imagine you're working for a global retail brand. You want to analyze your customer feedback, build an intelligent chatbot, and predict future sales trends. Instead of juggling multiple tools, Azure AI Foundry brings everything into one place so you can build these solutions seamlessly and at a scale. Pretty cool, right? Now let's explore how Azure AI Foundry helps you bring these ideas to the life. We'll start by exploring the model catalog where you can discover and filter the right models for your needs. Then we'll dive into the playgrounds where you can experiment and test AI capabilities like chatbots, speech-to-text, and even image generation. If we're ready, let's dive into the platform. Here we are at Azure AI Foundry portal, which is a separate portal from the Azure portal itself, but you can go through the Azure portal, create your resources from there, and come here as well. But for this demonstration, we're gonna go from the Azure AI Foundry portal. First thing first, the UI is pretty user-friendly, I would say. They're explaining everything. They welcome us pretty good. So here we need to create a project first. You need to have a project in order to work with the Azure AI Foundry. If you're familiar with Azure DevOps or GitHub, maybe there are projects that you are working in. So it's similar to those. So I click on create project here, then it's asking for project name. What I'll do is I'll go with the con demo 1. You can see Azure resources to be created. That's gonna create some Azure resources. So it's gonna create under this subscription, it's gonna create an hub, it's gonna create a data storage, public network access is enabled, location will be ECS2, and it's gonna create a resource group for me so I can customize these stuff. I can say I can select my available resource groups. I can select my location, then I can select my subscription. If you have other stuff, you can go with those. Then I can go next. I can click on create. Then it's gonna create my project as well as the component resources with it. So let's give it a minute or two, let it create the stuff. Perfect. Our Azure AI Foundry project and the component resources are created. So let me go back to the Azure portal, and when I refresh it, I see that I have the resources created here. I have my Azure AI Hub, and I have my Azure AI project. I have Azure AI services, storage account, and Key Vault. The storage account is for storing your files and your data to use in the Azure AI Foundry if you want to. Key Vault is to store your secrets and the connection strings of your Azure AI Foundry in there. For example, maybe your API keys if you want to interact outside of the portal by your programming language of your choice. You have your project, you have the hub on top to be able to have the project underneath, and you have your Azure AI services, which have all the AI capabilities and the services features inside. So back to the Azure AI Foundry portal here, I can see I have an API key, which is a secret. I can copy and use this to interact with the AI services. I have my endpoint here. I have all the information around here. So what I want to do is I want to go to the model catalog here, and let's discover a bit about model catalog. So here we can see that there are tons of AI models from different vendors that Microsoft put in place that you can utilize. For example, we have PHI-4 from Microsoft. We have O1 Preview, O1 Mini from OpenAI, I believe. We have other models from other vendors. We have MetaLlama model from Meta itself. We have, I think, MetaLlama as well. Bunch of models that you can think of. And if you don't know which model is the best for your use, you can filter these models to find out which one is the best. Also, you can see that there are 1,819 models inside this AI Foundry, which is a good amount of models. So if I want to filter out, I can go to the collections. I can select my vendor. For example, we can see there are OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, Mistral, Nvidia, and bunch other vendors, right? You can choose your vendor, then you can choose which industry are you gonna use this model in. So is it gonna be mobility, is it gonna be manufacturing, consumer goods, and other stuff. Then you can go to the deployment option. There are two options here currently: manage compute and serverless APIs. If you don't want to touch anything, just use the model, you can go with the serverless API. If you want to have a bit more customization on the model itself, you can go with the manage compute ones. And inference tasks, you can select what type of tasks are you going to be using the model for, right? Are you going to be doing text generation, or are you going to be doing translation, maybe text to image? So you can select what do you want to do with that. And going forward with the fine-tuning task, you can say, hey, I'm going to do fine-tuning on this model for this purpose. For example, if you want to go with the translation, you can say, hey, I need a model that do translation, but I want to fine-tune it. I want to improve it with my data, with my own data, to make it more customized and more improved for myself, right? And you have your licenses here. I don't have much idea about the licenses, but you can select the licenses here as well. Going forward, we have a button here that says compare with the benchmarks, which is basically letting you compare models between each other and select based upon that, right? So you can select the models here. You have GPT-4o, GPT 3.5, and all that stuff. And you can basically compare them based on the tasks that you want to compare. For example, I'll go with the text generation. You can see that each of the models have their own colors here, and they indicate in the chart. Based upon that, you can say quality, you can say cost. So it basically compares between the qualities as well as the cost, and you can choose your model from up there. This is how you choose your model from the catalog. If you know what model are you going to use, let's jump into the playgrounds. Okay, so right now we are in the playgrounds in the Azure AI Foundry that allows us to play around, which is playground, right? So you can see that the first thing pops up is the chat playground. They want us to try the chat bot that they have in here, but other playground. Other features they have is speech playground, which is in preview, assistant playground, real-time audio, images playground, healthcare playground, as well as the language playground. So we're gonna do touch base a bit upon each of them. Let's give it a try. The chat playground first. So first thing first that we need here is having a deployment. You need to create a deployment, which means you need to select the choice of your model to work with in this playground so you can continue further. So what I'll do is I'll click on create a deployment here, and there are a bunch of models that suits with this chatbot that does chat, right? So I'll go with the chat GPT-4o, which is one of my favorite models out there. You can select your deployment name. So I'll do demo here if you can. And deployment type, there are multiple deployment types. You can see that global standard paper API call with the highest rate limit. So it's literally like SKU, depends on your deployment type, you pay for it. So there are a bunch of global standard data zone, standard global batch, global provision and manage, and other stuff. So I'll go with the standard, just making sure I'm not gonna pay a lot of dollars for this video. You can select your model version here. You can select resource location. So what I'll do is, there's no quota in Canada Central, so we're gonna go with East US2 then. You can select the tokens per minute rate limit here. So, and you can go with the corresponding requests per minute, enable dynamic quota, and create your resource. Our deployment is ready to use. You can see that we have the deployment version here. We have the instructions and the contacts that we need to give to the chatbot, and we have in the add section here, we have add your data. You can basically put your data to use. You have your parameters here. So coming to the parameters, I want to explain a bit. So the first parameter is past message included, which is basically saying what number of past messages that you want this bot to remember, right? So if it is 10, this bot will remember the last 10 messages that you guys had in the conversation, so it can predict the data and the answers based upon those. You have your max response here. Max response is basically set a limit on the number of tokens per model response. The supported number of tokens are shared between the prompt, including system message, examples, message history, and user query, and the model's response. Going forward to the temperature is basically how creative you want this chat, you want this agent to be, right? The more temperature that has, it's gonna be more delusional, it's gonna be more creative. But if you want to have it more regular, rational answers, you better to have it a bit more less temperature here, so it can give more realistic answers. And we have top P here. It's very similar to temperature, but this controls randomness but uses a different method, right? So lowering the top P will narrow the model's token selection to likelier tokens. This is very similar to temperature. Then we have our stop sequence here. We have our frequency penalty. This penalty is basically reducing the chance of repeating a token proportionally based upon how often it has appeared in the text so far. And we have our presence penalty. This is basically reducing the chance of repeating any token that has appeared in the text all so far. So if you don't want to get repeated answer or repeated information, you can tingle down with these parameters. So what I'll do is I'll just give it a instruction and just a bit context out of my mind randomly. We have, by default, we have you're an AI assistant that helps people find information. But what I'll do is you are an AI assistant who has DevOps and cloud engineering experience with AI fundamentals and helps people to learn more about those domains, right? So what you need to do is you need to select apply changes button below, where we need to have it somewhere here. So not sure where that is. It should be somewhere here normally. It's interesting. Oh, here. I couldn't see it. So you basically put you apply the changes that you have made. So what I'll do is I'll go with the, can you please tell me what is Azure AI Foundry is, and what can it get done that human cannot? Human is not able to, right? So I asked a question, what is AI Foundry is, then it gave me the answer, and basically it says these are the tasks that can be done. So we can see that AI can automate routine of repetitive tasks, freeing up human workers to focus on more complex and strategic activities and everything. I will say, will AI take the people's jobs? Right? Why not? So impact of AI on jobs is complex and multifaceted issue and everything. In summary, while AI will undoubtedly change the job market, the focus should be on how to manage these changes effectively to ensure that workflow can adapt and blah blah blah. So this is basically your ChatGPT that you can customize and everything with your data. It's your chatbot you can use for your website, your application, and everything. If you're good with the chatbot, let's get back to other playgrounds. So the other playground we have here is speech playground, right? So the description of speech playground is enhance customer experience through speech to text, text to speech, and speech translation features. If you go to the playground itself, you can see that real-time transcription. So basically I'll talk something and it's gonna transcript in the real time on the screen. Let's give it a try if you don't mind. So I'll click on record and start. Hey there, this is Contrigud recording Azure AI Foundry video for the folks who are interested in AI space, and hopefully it's gonna be beneficial for them. Thanks for sticking up with the video, and hopefully it's gonna be a good one. So here you can see that it basically transcribed my real-time talking pretty good. Like, hi there, this is Contra, which is alright. Like you might not know my name, but that's fine. Good recording Azure AI Foundry video for the folks who are interested in AI space, and hopefully it's gonna be beneficial for them. Thanks for sticking out with the video, and hopefully it's gonna be a good one. Pretty good performance, other than my name, right? So we have fast transcription. It's basically more advanced transcription feature. We have batch transcription, which is transcribe a large amount of audio in storage and get results asynchronously. We have speech translation here, which is one of my favorite capabilities of AI services. So here we're gonna select translate from English to translate to, let's say Japanese maybe, or we're gonna go to, I don't know which language should I go with. I'll probably go with Arabic. Why not? So what I'll do is I'll record something in English and it's gonna translate in Arabic. Hey, this is Khan Turgut. We are testing AI speech translation feature here from English to Arabic. Hopefully it's working very well, and if there are any Arabic friends out there watching this video, please let me know if the Arabic version is good. So here we can see it basically translated my English into Arabic in real time. I cannot verify if it is pretty good because I don't know Arabic, but pretty sure it will work very good. So if there are Arabic friends out there, let me know in the comments if the translation is solid. Then we have custom speaker, which is the fine-tuning model here. You can see you can fine-tune this capabilities based on your needs. We have voice gallery. You can quickly pick someone else's voice here and use it. You can give them a speech. Then we have text-to-speech avatar. This is a very cool feature that I tried out before the video, but it's taken a bit, so I'm not gonna do it. But what it does is basically you speak and it creates an avatar that does basically what I'm doing right now. Instead of me, there's an avatar talking to you. Imagine like that. And you have personal voice, which is basically creating AI voice from a human. So if I talk, it's gonna take my voice, mimic it, and you basically give the script. It's gonna read and talk like me. Then you have your video translation, which is basically translates the videos. So bunch of features. We're not trying all of them, but just introducing them. So if you're interested, feel free to test and get your hands dirty in each of them. So this is Speech Playground. Let's hop on to the other one. So next playground is Assistant Playground, which is basically an AI assistant that you can control that helps you on your task and on the domains that you are giving them. So I have unsupported region here, so I need to select my other one. I'll create a new deployment. I'll go with the GPT-4o mini because for the GPT-4o I don't have a quota right now. I'll go with the standard deployment and I'll deploy my model here. I'll create my assistant. The API deployment folder also does not. If you create deployment within the last 5 minutes, please wait a moment and try again. So what we're gonna do is there you go. We have it here. So you can see there's an assistant ID, assistant name, and deployment name, as well as the version. So what we like similar to the chat, but a bit more different. This is your assistant, right? So you gotta give instructions to your assistant. You have your tools for the assistant, for example, file search. So this means that you can put your files, your data in here, and your assistant can basically search those files and assist you based upon that, right? If you're a student, you can put your lecture notes here, telling the assistant to summarize them for you. Or if you're an engineer, you can put your data in here and do your task. And you have code interpreter here, basically that works with the code. So if you're DevOps engineer, software engineer, machine learning engineer, you can work with the data by getting help from the assistant. And you have your functions. You can use API support functions, which allows you to describe the structure of the function to assistant, then return the function that needs to be called along with their arguments. And you have your model settings, which are temperature, which we already know, which is the creativity of the assistant, and the top P, right? So here, if we give it a try just a bit, what I'm gonna do is, let's go out of the topic. We can say you are an AI assistant that helps the nail tech. I don't know. Now let's give it a try. I don't know anything about nails. Nail tech that helps the nail tech business. Who knows the nail tech industry very well and here to help the owner and customers. Make sure you don't answer anything except nail tech, right? So I told the assistant to make sure it doesn't answer anything out of the nail tech. So we're gonna give it a try. What I'll do is, hi there, I'm looking to get some nail treatment to make them look better. Also, I'm biting my nails and need some advice on that, right? So I ask, I'm looking for a nail treatment and I'm biting my nails. We got an error. Rate limit exceeded. Rate limit exceeded. Try in. What the hell? Okay. After some research, looks like the assistant is not working in East US for now, or I have something in the background going on with the tokens and everything. I deployed a couple more deployments, but I couldn't make it work. But you got my point, right? So this is your assistant. You give the instructions, and you basically can work with it in parallel. So if you're good here, even though we couldn't complete the demonstration of this, let's jump into the other playground. Okay, the next one is very good one, which is real-time audio playground, which is basically building a low latency conversational experience with the AI. So I'm gonna have a conversation with the AI at the same time like a human being is in front of you. So I'll go to the playground itself. I need to create a deployment here. I click on, there's only one model for now. I'll go with the global standard and deploy it. So let's wait for it to get deployed. I'll refresh my page. I am here. Let me refresh again. There we go. So we have our deployment here. You can give the model and instructions as well. The default is you're an AI assistant that helps people find information. So what I'll do is I'll just talk, it's gonna start listening, and it's gonna give me an answer like a human being. So if you don't mind, let's get started. I'll just go with this one. Hey there, hope all is well. Can you please let me know how the weather will be like in Toronto tomorrow?
Tomorrow's weather in Toronto is expected to be chilly, with a high of around 1 degree Celsius and a low of about -4 degrees. You might also see a few flurries, so it's a good idea to bundle up if you're heading outside.
Alright, sounds good. Can you also let me know how the weather will be in Calgary during the Christmas time, as I'm planning to go there?
During Christmas time, Calgary often experiences cold weather. You can expect temperatures to be quite low, usually ranging from around -5 to...
Sorry for cutting you out. Just change of plans. I'm planning to go to the Vancouver. If you can let me know how the weather will be in Vancouver during the Christmas.
No problem. Vancouver's weather during Christmas is usually milder compared to other parts of Canada. You can expect temperatures to range from about 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. It's often rainy during this time.
All right, cool.
So
Sorry for cutting. That's all. Thank you for giving me the information.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or...
You see, it's like a human being, but a bit more smarter and have more knowledge in the memory, which is very impressive. Very, very impressive, right? It's even though I'm cutting while it's talking, it stops suddenly, listens, reacts based upon my reactions and actions, which is very impressive. And we have the server turn detections. You have silence duration, prefix padding, threshold you can go with, and as well as you have parameters, max response, as well as the temperature. So you can play around with this. Very impressive feature. If you're good here, let's jump to the other playground. So next one is basically image playground. I think most of us has an experience with generating images by AI from different tools. So as you know, the main model is DALL-E, that is improved and developed by OpenAI. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a deployment here, select the DALL-E, which is one of the best models for image generation. So I'm gonna create the resource and deploy. Okay, so our deployment is done. You can see it gives us tip as a prompt structure for DALL-E, saying it should be like very simple, straightforward. So for this, a polar bear, synth wave style, and digital painting, and it gives this. So what I'll do is, you can see I have a prompt that I use to test. So a monkey, human style, software developer listens music, right? Which is very creative. I never saw a monkey who develops software, so hopefully we're gonna see right now. So if I click on generate, it got failed. That's fine. I had it before. So what I'll do is I'll try, I'll refresh the page. We're gonna give it another try. Looks like it's working. So sometimes you gotta refresh the page a bit. There are still some improvements that can be done to the platform, but we're working, right? So there you go. We have our monkey who listens music as well as develops some code, even though I cannot say which language that is, but it's something. At least it's a monkey who listens and writes a code. So we're gonna give it another try. I can maybe generate the image of myself saying young man, blonde, records YouTube video. Let's generate an image, right? It's not specific prompt, so if you wanna have more detail, you gotta give a bit more detailed prompt here. Let's wait. So this is pretty cool, eh? It doesn't look like me, but still. So we have the camera, we have the guy who records the video out here, which is very good. In my opinion, the performance of DALL-E is pretty good and it's getting better every day. So this is the image playground. You can give your prompts and you can play around it, and if everything is good, let's jump into the other playground. Next playground is a bit more advanced, which is for healthcare. So this is an applying multimodal analysis and reasoning on a variety of medical data, including imaging, clinical records, and more. So if you're a medical person, or if you have any friends who are doctor, nurses, and everything, this is for them. So we have two models that are developed by Microsoft. I'll go with the meta image parse. We're gonna deploy the model. We need a virtual machine and everything. So what I'll do is I'll skip this part because I don't have the medical data in here, but just to give you an high overview, this is like a doctor, this is like a nurse, right? You have your medical data, maybe you can have your x-ray, you can have your blood work and everything. You create this playground, you put your data in here, and it's gonna analyze and tell you what's going on, like a doctor, right? This is not gonna replace doctors in my opinion, but it's gonna help doctors and medical folks out there very well. So if you're good on here, we're doing a bit fast forward here for the last playground. Let's jump in. Last but not least, playground is the language playground, which is in preview mode. So which is analyzes and summarizes using large language model powered natural language processing capabilities. If we go into the playground itself, you can see there's no deployment needed here. And on the left panel, you have your API version, your model version, your text language. You can select from any language of your choice, and you have your select categories to include. You have a bunch of stuff that you want to detect. In a simple term, this basically detects whatever you want to detect in a text, in an email, in a file, or whatever, right? It basically chooses the categories that matches of your filters. So let's go from the sample. I'll go with the banking. So you can see when I click on banking, it populates to the text, email, some sort. So it has all the information about the person as well as their banking and the personal informations. So if I run this example, I can see that it selects the words and give me the category, give me the type of those sentences or the words based upon that, right? So here I can see the name is a person, the August 17th is a date time, the profession is person type, the social security number is US social security number, the date of birth is date time, phone number is phone number, address matches with address, and you can see that when I go on top, you can see the confidence level. So it says I'm 100% confident this is an address. You can see email is 80% confident, and Swift code is 100% confident, right? And if I refresh my page, we can try another sample here. For example, travel. So there's another guy who basically is planning or I think giving feedback about their travel, about their vacation. So when I run this, it detects this is a person, this is an address, this is a date time, and everything, right? So I think you got the point. So depends on your need, depends on your regulations and everything. You have all the categories, Finland national ID and everything. So you can detect, select, filter out, customize, manipulate the data based upon your needs. I think this was the last playground, so let's get back to the main screen. After wrapping up the playgrounds, there are other features that I want to go over real quick to wrap up the video. So under the build and customize, we have work in code section here, which is for developers. You can code directly with the SDKs and the APIs to integrate AI into your solutions, your applications, your code to work with it directly, right? So if we go to the fine tuning here, you can see that this is a fine tuning section that allows you to take pre-trained models and make them for your own, right? For example, you can train a vision model to recognize your specific products, or teach a language model to understand your company's jargon, right? So you basically take a pre-trained model, train it with your own data for your own workflow, and make it your own model. Other than that, we go to the flows, which are the prompt orchestration flows that you can also create, iterate, and debug your orchestration flows, which means essentially connecting multiple AI processes into a seamless one workflow. For example, you could automate data classification, customer interaction, and report generation all in one flow. You might have multiple AI tools that are integrated into a single flow, follows each other. Going forward, under the assess and improve section, we have tracing here, which is basically a tracing tools help you monitor every step of your workflow. So if something breaks, goes wrong, you can quickly pinpoint the issue and find what's going on, right? And we have evaluation here, which lets you measure your accuracy of your models, ensuring they're hitting the performance benchmarks of yours, right? So we see there are a lot of benchmarks, performance benchmarks going on for the models out there, seeing the accuracy and everything. You can evaluate your models from here. And lastly, you have your safety and security, which is Azure AI Foundry's prioritize safety and compliance. It includes tools to check for the bias, fairness, and adherence for your regulatory standards, so your AI solution are ethical and secure. You don't want to get in trouble with the law and everything, so you can basically put all your content filters here, all your block list here, and everything, right? So probably most of us heard about the content filters, which is a filtering of your content basically for the sexual, for the religion, for other topics that you don't want to include in your AI solution. You can filter them out here, teaching your AI, putting the filters in so your AI won't interact with those type of topics of your choice. And there you have it. An in-depth look at Azure AI Foundry, from discovering the modules to experiment to playgrounds, checking the workflows, content filtering to improve your solutions for your business and your own projects. If you're interested more about Azure AI Foundry, check the documentation's links below for more information and the hands-on labs. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe for more content on DevOps, Cloud, and AI. Let me know in the comments what would you like me to cover next. Until next time, happy building!